what you doing?
Oh, I'm playing a video game.
Oh, which game?
Dance Dance Revolution Synchron.
Really? I thought that game involved jumping and dancing.
No, you're thinking of Dance Dance Revolution. Dance Dance Revolution Synchron is mostly just watching a combo play out on its own.
Huh. Why are you playing it?
Well, the other option was Pearly, Scarlet, or Violet.
Good afternoon, Jank enthusiasts! I'm MBT, and this is 10-Minute Testing. If you're unfamiliar, I've got a Patreon upon which viewers can vote for one 10-minute testing a month. Last month, they voted for Ojama Sprite, which I am still agonizing over. It's coming. But this month, they demanded I show off the deck of choice for EdoPro replay YouTubers, presenting Adventure Revolution Synchron.
Number 9.
So here's the list, which I stole from Donax Yu-Gi-Oh! And what's that, 4 total hand traps? I'm sure it'll be fine. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the #1 place to go if you need a pack simulator, a card database, or want to read a wealth of strategy articles. They also post breakdowns and lists from every major TCG and Master Duel tournament, including the Master Circuit series. Give them a look at www.ygoprodeck.com. With that, let's soak into the Synchron pile. Calling what we're looking at a deck seems like a little bit of a misnomer, since it's actually about 6 different decks mashed together, borrowing elements from the adventure piles that were popular several formats ago, the powerful Synchron enablers and Dispotter lines that have recently shown up in Dragon Link, and the junk speeder setups characteristic of negate my synchro or die builds of Synchron. This list is much more than the sum of its parts. After years of just printing "you win the game" on every single new synchro monster, we've arrived at a point where there's a deck that might actually do it. This deck does a lot, which makes it hard to talk about, so I'm just going to freestyle for a little bit. The goal of this deck is to set up some sort of mechanism by which you can make Junk Speeder in a position where it's not going to be Ash Blossomed. This can mean anything from there's a Griffin Rider on the field, to we chain block it with Fateful Adventure, to this hand makes Baron or Herald pre-Speeder, to they simply do not have it. From there, you'll be able to summon all the Synchrons under the sun and get comboing. Frequently, you'll be able to make Omega, tag in a Dispotter, courtesy of the Crimson Dragon, summon back Omega, loop an additional card, and end on a King Calamity during your opponent's turn. Isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Fun? So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, we've got 2 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. This is of course good going second, but it's also copies 2 and 3 of Griffin Rider to play around Droll, and it allows you to use the body as a 7-star synchro material, whereas usually you'd be using the Griffin Rider to do so. We've got 3 Water Enchantress and 1 Griffin Rider. Unfortunately, Griffin Rider is not often going to be used as a negate, except in Best of All Possible Worlds hands. Frequently, he is going to be material with which you can accomplish your combos. Jet Synchron, Assault Synchron, and Revolution Synchron are all indispensable pieces of the combo, but Jet Synchron is one of the many 2-card combos with Rite of Aramasir. We're also playing 2 copies of Stardust Synchron. Obviously, this is part of the combo line as well, but it also gets you access to Stardust Trail and therefore Stardust Illumination as well. Stardust Trail is really good. Not only is it an essential combo piece, it's also a recursive non-tuner body. It's important to do the full combo provided you haven't been drolled. We've got 3 copies of Supei Duskwalker and 1 copy of Supei. These cards are great. They've got high levels, they're tuners, they can also theoretically be used to Desperation Draw if you want to make a Stardust Charge Warrior, or maybe to fix a combo if you have to book Speeder in order to get it to resolve through something like an Effect Veiler or an Infinite Impermanence. It's also a really good small world bridge for accessing Enchantress off of Fenrir. After that, we've got 2 copies of Illusion of Chaos. This is a searchable card in this deck by use of Herald of Arclight. Frequently, your opponent's going to think you're only making the Arclight just so you can have negation before you commit to the Speeder, and then they'll be blown out by the fact that it's going to plus you, but it's also just generally a really good card. You can Desperation Draw off of the pieces of Fateful Adventure you've already activated with the Magician's Souls. Kurikara in here is a good card for this format, but importantly is a small world bridge from just about anything to just about anything. 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 3 Rite of Aramasir, 1 Stardust Illumination, 3 Small World, 3 Synchro Overtake, 3 Book of Moon. This is just such a good card right now. So incredibly powerful against Kashtira by booking the Arise Heart, so incredibly powerful against against Pearly by allowing them to draw off of their Pearly Noir and then chaining Book of Moon to the Pearly Yeep. We've got one copy of Fateful Adventure, one copy of Dracoback, and one Foolish Burial. In the extra, we've got Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, which you can make off of tagging through Super Heavy Samurai Brave. We've got Crimson Dragon, Dispotter, Baron de Fleur, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Psyframe Lord Omega, Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, which you will be using the effect of. We are playing the Stardust Dragon. Moonlight Dragon has some applications going second with Revolution Synchron, but frequently it just comes up in weird Arclight boards. Stardust Charge Warrior, Jet Dragon is your reveal for overtakes. You can go into Jet Synchron, Axel Synchron, Herald of the Arclight, and of course, Junk Speeder, the big daddy of all of your combo plays. In the side, we've got 3 Nibiru, 3 Bestials, a Kelbeck. This one, I really have no idea why they're playing. 3 Droll and Lockbird, a Feather Duster, a Triple Tactics, 2 Thrust, and an Evenly Matched. So with that, let's jump into the games. Our first match is up against some kind of zombie something, but importantly, this game showcases what you can do if you've opened Rite of Aramesir plus a copy of Revolution Synchron. We're going to begin with the effect of Water Enchantress of the Temple to grab from deck to hand a copy of Rite of Aramesir, which we will activate. That'll get us a token and a Fateful Adventure, at which point we'll activate the Fateful Adventure to grab ourselves a copy of Wandering Griffin Rider and pitch the Dracoback that's already in our hand. From here, we'll special summon the Wandering Griffin Rider, normal summon a Revolution Synchron, make Baron, trigger the effect of the Revolution Synchron, and then, of course, Synchro summon Junk Speeder. We're going to go for the Speeder for Assault Synchron, Stardust Synchron, Revolution Synchron, Jet Synchron. From here, you can activate the effect of the Stardust Synchron for a Stardust Illumination, then go Charge Warrior to draw 1, it's Kurikara hilariously, Ass Dragon, bring back Jet, and then go for the copy of Illumination for Trail. That's going to make a copy of Excel Synchron and get us a token. That's going to send a copy of Stardust Synchron to the graveyard to modulate levels so we can make Dispotter. Then we'll activate the effect of the Ass Dragon to go to Stardust Dragon, and then make Crimson Dragon, Stardust Trail, and Assault Synchron here in order to reborn this copy of Excel Synchro, Stardust Dragon, and Stardust Trail, modulate the level of the trail with the graveyard effect of the Illumination, go for Omega, rip 1, go for Dispotter, bring back Omega, go for Omega, rip 2. Boy, isn't that fun. Beforehand, we're going to go for Jet Synchron into Stardust so we can make a 12-star Synchro for next turn. We'll pass back to our opponent, and then in draw phase, we will activate the effect of the Crimson Dragon to make Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity under Baron de Fleur. Fun. Our opponent's going to make Linkuriboh and pass turn, and this should be all she wrote. They're going to get both cards back off of this copy of Omega, which is very funny. We'll take one of them again, then cycle via Dispotter, take another one just to ensure that we can win. We'll go for Baron de Fleur, popping the Linkuriboh, and then go to the battle phase, dealing 4 and 4. What a fun game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Our second match is up against Altergeist, and I'm going to be completely real with you, I have no idea what this deck does post-support. Our hand looks a little weaker this time, though we have supplemented the combo starters with a couple of cards that allow us to play through things. Infinite Impermanence and Effect Veiler, for instance, are not really too much of a big deal, as we do have that Book of Moon. We're going to go for this copy of Small World first and foremost. As mentioned in the card breakdown, this is a combo, the reveal of Jet Warrior for Jet Synchron plus access to Water Enchantress. We'll go Herald of the Arclight. As we go for the Water Enchantress, they're going to go for the Ash Blossom, thinking they better use it or lose it, but unfortunately at Resolution, we can trigger the effect of the Arclight and Graveyard to grab a Illusion of Chaos. Afterwards, we're going to go Rite of Aramesir into Fateful Adventure and pitch that Illusion of Chaos. Just good to have more material in hand for the Jet Synchron Graveyard effect, going Junk Speeder as 1 and Fateful Adventure as 2. Pretty much the only thing we're scared of with this hand is maybe like a Gamma, so we might as well do our best to play around it. From here, we can use Stardust Synchron to go into a copy of Illumination. We'll Stardust Charge Warrior another card, and oh, Fenrir is pretty good. We'll go Ass Dragon into this Jet Synchron, then go for Illumination for Trail. Let's make it Excel Synchron, trigger the effect of the Trail, and the effect of the Excel Synchron, sending a Stardust Synchron to the graveyard so we can make a Dispotter. We're going to trigger the effect of the Assault Stardust Dragon there in order to make Stardust Dragon and Crimson Dragon trigger the graveyard effect of this Assault Synchron to bring back this Ass Dragon. Will bring back Trail and change its level with Illumination, making Omega. And now it's time to loop 2 against an opponent who has already looped themselves for 1 by activating a hand trap. We'll put them down to 2, set 1, and pass back to our opponent. They're going to normal summon this copy of Marionetter, go for the effect. We'll negate with the effect of Dispotter, shuffling back one of the cards that we banished with Omega, at which point they'll concede. So it's time for game 3, and you know what that means, a best of 3 versus meta. Our opponent's playing Pearly, and unfortunately for us, they are going first. Now, we do have the Kashtira of Fenrir and the best card in the universe versus the Strategy Book of Moon. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of My Friend Pearly, activate its effect, paying 500 and revealing from their deck, a Sleepy Memory. They're going to go for the EP Memory to go into Pearlily. They'll activate the effect of the Pearlily in order to grab a Pearly, then normal summon the Pearly in order to find out the top. Never seems to whiff. A Happy. They're going to cycle into the new Noir and then go Happy Memory 1, Noir 2 to attach, set a Yeep, and then afterwards summon a Pearly from deck. Pearly effect here, 1, to, oh my god, and it's another Sleepy Memory. They elect to go for the field spell instead, which translates to a Sleepy Memory at end of turn anyway. They're going to get really greedy with this Princess Sprite, whiff, and then at end step, attach a material to Noir. In standby phase, you're going to activate the effect to draw, and Chain Leap! No! You don't want to be doing that! They'll just draw one as we Book of Moon, and from here, we should be able to wrap it up. They do get to Ash Blossom, our copy of Water Enchantress, but activating a monster effect is just what we need because we have no other really good out for my friend Pearly. Instead, we're going to get to go to Stardust Charge Warrior with Supe, and we find Small World off the top pretty good. We're going to go for Stardust Synchron that's going to get an infinite impermanence, but that's no big deal. From here, we can go into Baron de Fleur, use its effect in order to pop this set copy of Noir, go to the battle phase, and clean up what remains. We have one negate for our opponent's hand, and it looks like they have drawn a card that necessitates a discard. Woof. So it's time for game 2, and oh, they are making us go first. Such is the life of playing versus Burley. Our hand looks really good. We're going to begin with a copy of Small World. We're going to cycle through this Ash Blossom to get a copy of Water Enchantress. We'll go for the effect to grab a Rite of Aramis here. We'll go for that effect in order to summon a token and set that Fateful Adventure, which we will activate for a copy of Wandering Griffin Rider. We'll summon that, and then normal summon this Revolution Synchron to go to Baron de Fleur, Revolution Synchron to summon itself, and then go into Junk Speeder. We'll go Junk Speeder and Fateful Adventure to chain block against Ash. They're going to go Infib targeting Junk Speeder, and against Pearly, I really want to keep this Book of Moon, so we're going to get just a little bit greedy and use the Baron Negate here. We're going to summon a bunch of monsters and activate the effect of the Stardust Synchron for an Illumination. We're going to go Charge Warrior here into Ass Dragon. We'll trigger the effect of the Ass Dragon, bringing back the Jet, and then go into a Stardust Dragon and a Crimson Dragon. From here, we're going to go for Assault Dragon and Tail. That's going to get us a copy of Trail back to make an Assault Synchron. Trail will get us a token. Assault Synchron will send a Stardust Synchron, and then we'll make a Dispotter, at which point our opponent will concede. So we're back with the deck, and while we definitely lucked out as to when our opponents triggered hand traps, I wasn't expecting the deck to be this dominant. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1. The deck's main combo is so explosive and overwhelming that few, if any, decks will be able to play through it. Add to the fact that you're ripping multiple cards, calamity locking, and ending on 2 negates means your opponent would need the Mandate of Heaven to play through what you've set up. 2 is the Adventure Engine. The Adventure Engine is both fuel for your main combo play, but also allows you to play through hand traps or make backup boards if you don't draw full combo. Being able to fend off for a turn can be critical, and the grind from Rite of Aramis can come up frequently in simplified game states. And 3, the ability to play through hand traps. With some of the new combos, the deck is now able to Calamity Lock through Droll or Shifter, or maybe a slightly suboptimal 1-for-1 hand trap like Ash. And the cons. 1. Consistency. While the combo does have a ton of starters, even with Small World, it isn't as consistent as many other combo decks in the format, and its backup plans can often be pretty underwhelming. 2, going second. This deck struggles to go second as well as the top decks of the format. It's no Kashtira or Pearly. It usually relies on drawing very specific cards or needing heavy siding just to be able to play through small boards. And 3, you're not really playing too much of the game. Overall, Synchron seems to be speeding its way out of unplayability into a real rogue contender because of the new support. Look forward to getting Calamity Locked and Omega Looped for 2 in your future. Thanks so much for watching. A huge shouts out to all of my patrons, but specifically Alex Perea, Allison Elliott, Ben Misera, Brett Henry, Bizin Queen, Chaotic Meatball, Kristen Malone, Da Bears, Darkmaster Zork, Derpin Dragon, DJ Elephant, Executive Slifer, Gabe the Green, John Piet, Jordan Kuntz, King Magic Ruler, Knight Mary, Legal Rights, Lockstone, Luis Hernandez, Materiality, Matthew M. DeRezzo, MBT Play Madolce, Melfi Stan, Mike Carlotti, NH6574, Puffins of Doom, Rose Lapine, Solar Flare, The Hollow King, Tootsie, Troy Says By Erasure is Gay, Vincent Storm, Who's Nick, Wonder Waffle, Yuki, and Yor. I couldn't have done it without you.